Hello, I'm Gareth with Mountaincoffee Outdoors, and tonight we have something a little bit different than I have done in the past. Well, it's a Friday night. I knew the weather was going to be really crummy. It rained all day, and about the time the sun went down, the rain turned to snow. So I wanted to come out and hopefully do an overnighter. I knew that the conditions were going to be pretty horrible, and so I pretty much planned to just bring my my Four Season, my old, like, I bought this thing like 21, 22 years ago, so this thing's pretty old, but it still serves its purposes, I guess. I was going to take my old Four Season tent out and set it up, and I knew that I would probably wind up spending the night in the tent, and I just figured I would eat in here and just hang out and maybe read a book. So that's why I'm doing. I don't know, this is something new. I haven't done any video recording in a tent before. This year I've been doing a lot of hammock camping, obviously. I got a hammock this spring, and I've pretty much used that almost exclusively ever since. And I really enjoy hammock camping, but oh, I don't know if I want to say it has its limitations, but I just didn't feel like tonight was a night for it. I mean, I could set it up under the tarp, and I think I could probably stay dry, but I figured a tent was probably a better idea because I was going to have to hang out here, and it's more comfortable to hang out in the tent. But the weather tonight, it's supposed to get down only to about 31 or 30 degrees, so about maybe negative half a degree Celsius to maybe 1 below Celsius. Not very cold at all. Really not cold enough. And we are supposed to get, the forecast said, I believe, from about 3 to 5 inches of snow tonight. So that might be interesting. It's going to be really wet snow, and I'm actually almost, as warm as the temperatures are, I'm almost surprised that the snow will stick all that much. But I'm confident that tonight won't be a problem. I have my tent. I'm comfortable in here. I'm out of the snow. Tomorrow, when I pack up and try to drive home, hopefully the roads aren't too much of a problem, because that could be an issue. But I guess if I get stuck out here, I get stuck out here, and oh well. I can exist comfortably even if I'm stuck for an extra day even, which I don't think that'll be a problem. But anyway, I've just been getting settled in. Pretty much drug all my stuff in here to the tent that I would need tonight, so the place is kind of a mess. But tonight for my supper, I brought an MRE. I just wanted something that I could heat up here in the tent, and something that was easy. Tonight I have, this is menu number 2, vegetable crumbles and pasta with tomato style sauce. So that sounds interesting. I guess we'll see how that is. I have my Trangia stove in here with me. I don't know if I'll use that or not. I thought about trying to use it out underneath the vestibule, and I think I might just have enough room to do that. I used a jet boil in this tent once upon a time up in the mountains when it was raining quite a bit, and that worked just fine. I don't know about the Trangia stove though. Those gas canister stoves have more control over the flame, which is a good thing. Although the Trangias are pretty contained, but I might try that and I might not. I guess we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna get some stuff kind of situated here, and I'll get to heating up my dinner. Talk to you later. All right, time to open tonight's dinner. Menu 2, vegetable crumbles with pasta and taco style sauce. I am using my wide angle lens, which didn't really cost me a whole lot of money, so it works about as well as a cheap wide angle lens would work, as you would expect it to work, which isn't that great. So I apologize if around the sides of the video, if it's kind of blurry. It's because that lens isn't that great. Okay, here we have our veg taco pasta. Must be the main entree. Have some dry roasted peanuts, salted. Here's the accessory packet. We have some sort of salsa in there, some drink mix, some gum, toilet paper. There's salt, because there's always salt in there, a moist towelette. Apple cinnamon flavor First Strike bar. These are just kind of like an energy bar. They're a lot like a power bar. Here's some chunky peanut butter. MRE spoon. Here's our FRH, or a flameless ration heater. Crackers. It's regular old crackers. Haven't had the plain ones for a while. Plain crackers. Ooh. French vanilla cappuccino. Instant powder. That sounds pretty good. And here's the little sleeve to put the main entree in when we're heating it up. And some Zapple sauce. This says applesauce enhanced with maltodextrin for increased performance. Basically, it's applesauce with extra sugar added to it. I've had this before. It's pretty good. Tastes fine. So anyway, that is my supper for the night. I guess the vegetable crumbles must be included in this vegetable taco pasta stuff. Actually, it sounds kind of good. Most of these things usually are pretty decent. But anyway, I guess my main issue is this French vanilla cappuccino. Sounds like it would probably be better if it was warm. These packages, you can just pour water into them. There's actually a fill line on there, and it has a Ziploc little closure there, and you can shake them up and drink them right out of the pouch. I mean, that's good for when soldiers are on the move. They don't, you might necessarily have easy access to a cup. Or I guess nowadays, it used to be all the soldiers, to my knowledge, carried a canteen cup. A canteen with inside of a canteen cup, so they would always have a cup. And that's why a lot of these instructions used to always say, add half a canteen cup worth of water. But nowadays, a lot of the soldiers, I believe, carry hydration packs, so they might not necessarily have that canteen cup. So they've gone, I think, to a lot of these pouches that you can just pour the water in and drink them. Knead up this peanut butter a little bit. So I'm going to get that main entree heating up in the FRH and go from there. Let's tear the top of this off. Well, maybe. Yeah, well, that calls for a knife, I think. Well, here we have Kyle Noseworthy's Islander knife that I got from him. Here's the sheath. Really great cross draw, side draw, whatever you call it, sheath. This little closure really, because of the design of the knife, once you slide that knife in there and close that closure, there's no way that knife is ever going to fall out. of that sheath. I really like this knife. Oh yeah. Got a little distracted showing off knives. Just gonna cut this. Come on, if I can hold on to it. Guess I'll go the other way. There we go. Get our main mill, our main component here in the bag. There we go. You want to keep that little heating, it's kind of like a hand warmer pouch type thing that you take out of the package and just reacts with the air type thing. You don't want that to get bunched up, obviously, so you want it to, you know, make sure your pouch slides in underneath it. And then I'll add my water here. And it really only takes maybe, you know, a couple ounces or so, not much at all. So you have to be kind of careful. It says do not overfill on the bottom, of course. And just about right. Yeah, I can already feel some steam coming up, so that FRH is already fired up, so we'll shake that around a little bit, get that little heating element nice and uniformly wet in there. It's interesting because I don't really feel this thing taking off. Could have sworn that I felt some steam coming off there when I was holding it open earlier. Yeah, it's starting to get warm. There we go, I feel it going. Anyway, so, you know, just kind of fold this top down a bit. Now the top end of that FRH is the part that's getting hottest. Alright, almost too hot to hold on to. So you stick it in the sleeve. And steam it up pretty good. And now, of course, you want to lean it up against a rock or something. Personally, I suggest wrapping your meal up in something that will provide a little insulation. So I'm just going to wrap it up in the shirt. That way, more of that heat goes to heating up my food and not just, you know, heating up the air around it. So I'm just gonna prop that up over there, let that heat up, and we'll come back to that later. Well, I think I want to heat up some water for that cappuccino drink. So I am going to use my Trangia stove. Now, I will say this, I would not necessarily recommend that anybody do this. I am being very careful in how I am doing this. Generally speaking, a good rule to follow is to not have flames in tents. Especially nylon tents like I'm in. But I am going to do this in as absolutely safe as a manner as I can. So I'm pretty confident that this is not going to be a problem. See, that needs just a little bit of help. Get a little leaf here. There we go. All right, got the stove going. Obviously, it's easier to tell when these stoves are lit in lower lighting conditions because you can actually see that blue flame. All right. Put some water in my little kettle here. All right. There we go. I think an important thing to note is that using this stove in this tent, I do have lots of fresh air coming in here. I have lots of ventilation, so I'm not really sure if burning methylated spirits, denatured alcohol, whatever you call them, where you live. Not sure if burning that necessarily gives off much or any carbon monoxide, but some stoves absolutely do, and you have to make sure that you definitely use them in an area that's ventilated. And this tent is quite ventilated right now. I have the door open. I have lots of air coming through here, so I'm not worried about being overcome by fumes, but that's definitely something that you should keep in mind. And in general, maybe you just shouldn't use a stove in a tent to begin with. It's probably the best way to go. Once again, in my opinion, used in a safe manner, like a gas canister type stove, like a propane butane type canister stove, is probably a little bit better, a little safer option. What I would absolutely never do is use some sort of like a white gas stove in a tent. I would never do that because those things can overpressurize and basically have a big fireball in your hands. And if that happens in a tent, you know, you can kiss your tent goodbye. All right, we got boiling water. All right, I need about 6 ounces of water in here. This Sea to Summit cup, it has little, you know, graduation markers in there for the different ounce amounts, but they're kind of hard to see to begin with down there. And then when you pour something steamy in there and it's cold out, it steams up so much you can not even really see them. At least not in the tent at night. Well, that main entree is still heating in that flameless ration heater. So I figured I would open up the crackers and the peanut butter. There we go, a little bit of a nice hiss. Little reference to Steve 1989 and his really great MRE videos. Lots of other folks do great MRE videos also. All right. I'm gonna break these in half or something. Yeah, going to pieces, of course. Making a mess. These crackers really aren't salted or anything. And apparently the old salted ones, which they don't make anymore, were the really good ones. I know I've had some of those, but it's been a long time. Well, I think the flameless ration here has done all it's going to do to heat this up. It's warm. Get this entree out of here. Okay. My little salsa del sol. What's that? Salsa of the sun. Apparently it's made by the Heinz company, whatever it is. Let's open that up there. Get rid of this annoying little end. Well, it still smells good. It smells just like chili. I mean, it's not, maybe it doesn't look like a whole lot, but let's try a little bit of this here. Yeah, it actually tastes pretty good. Not bad at all. Add some of this, or let's dump this salsa del sol in there. The salsa kind of has a bit of a lime flavor to it. Yeah, it's really pretty good. That lime salsa has a nice little kick to it. This meal is called vegetable crumbles, but I don't really see any vegetable crumbles in there. I'm sure they're somewhere. I think it's just kind of a vegetarian, spicy vegetarian pasta dish. Has some beans in there and stuff. All in all, pretty good. Of course, the peanuts are just, you know, regular old peanuts, but all vacuum packed in there. Yep, just good dry roasted salted peanuts. Due to the fact that they put peanut butter in this meal also, I'm almost surprised they didn't put some sort of like a, I don't know, mixed nut or something like that in here. Almonds or something. Might have made a little more sense. Change up the flavors a bit. Well, the last two parts of this meal, the first strike bar and the Zapple sauce, I think I'm going to save those for later. But yeah, the Zapple sauce is just regular old applesauce with extra sugar added, basically. And the first strike bar is like a lot like a power bar. Well, I made it through the night. Stayed above freezing in the tent, which isn't much of a surprise considering it barely got below freezing outside. I kept hearing snow coming down periodically, except it sounded like it really slowed down quite a bit over the night. Sorry that I didn't do some more kind of hang out and talking after I ate last night. I kind of planned on doing that, but after I did that, I just kind of laid back, and that was kind of about it for me. I just fell asleep fairly early, and didn't just feel like, I woke up, you know, a couple times, but I just didn't really feel like turning the camera on and trying to figure out something to talk about. So it is what it is. But I peeked outside. There is an inch or two of snow on the ground. We didn't get that, for what I've seen, I don't think we got anywhere near that 5 inches, that 3 to 5 inches, but you know, that's the way it often goes. But I think I'll probably get some stuff packed up in here and see about cooking breakfast outside. I don't really want to do that in here. emerged from the tent to find, yeah, maybe 2 inches of snow at best out here. That's all right. I don't have to worry so much about driving out of here and getting home. It is pretty windy though. This spot does not really have much any protection from the wind when it comes from the north, so it's not a lot of fun being out in the wind. It's, despite the fact that it's, you know, right around freezing, this wind is definitely makes it feel a lot colder. I was thinking about firing up the old Trangia stove and cooking my breakfast outside, but it's I don't think I want to mess with that right now. I could always just save that till I get home. I ate that first strike bar that I got out of the MRE last night. I'll probably eat that as applesauce and call that a good enough breakfast for right now. But I think I'll get my stuff packed up. Obviously that tent's gonna have to be dried out at home before I can pack it up, because it's pretty wet between the snow and all the condensation on the inside of it. But that's all for me today. Well, thank you for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and this is Gareth from Mountain Coffee Outdoors. I'll see you next time.